round number 6 of the 2019 FIM X-Trial World Championship. Adam Raga will be first out, of course, with the inferior score from round number 2. Toni Bo, the top seed, has the opportunity to watch and learn from Adam Raga. First rider out. Raga making his way through. Back wheel. Work from Adam Raga. Efficient so far as well. Still clean, plenty of time on his side, and that raises a round of applause. Section 1 direction complete. Raga was clean in both directions in the previous rounds. 30 seconds. Round 2 direction for Adam Raga. Got to rush a little bit, because if he fails on time, it's a 5-mark score. Most of the way through, Adam Raga is clean in section 1. 14 seconds to spare for Raga. Good performance. Toni Bo's got to match it. The advantage of being second, of course, is that you know exactly what your rival's done, and you have an opportunity not only to learn from their route through the sections, but also to know how many marks you need to beat them. The problem is, if they come up with a clean, anything you drop will be advantage to your rival. Toni Bo then, section number 1, to match Adam Raga. That's his target here, the 13 times world champion. Great season it's been for Bo. Come back from the injury that robbed him of the 2018 season's close. Battling through another injury that affected the start of the season. Further crash, memorably at X-Trial Barcelona. I'm sure that'll be in the end of season reel. But astonishingly, it's gradually improved as 2019 has gone on. When you thought it couldn't get any better for Toni Bo, he becomes even more of a competitor. Section 1 proving easy for him so far. Neither rider will draw blood in section 1 if Toni Bo stays clean, and it will be down to a 5-section grand final effectively. Toni Bo clean in section 1, all square, 5 to go. Up to section 2, extra step in this section for the grand final. And that means that scores from the previous rounds, while not exactly academic, take on slightly less relevance because the difficulty level is raised anyway. But for the record, the only difference between these two riders in this section specifically is the 2 marks Adam Raga dropped here in round 1. Toni Bo has been clean here in both directions already. Section number 2 then is up and running with Adam Raga. Leaps across, he's got it wrong! And he's down for a 5. And that is not good news at all for Adam Raga. Didn't see that coming. In fact, once he dropped a couple of marks, I thought he might have a go at moving backwards and trying to catch the section. I suppose he probably evaluated that the time lost by having a go at that was going to rule him out of the section anyway. Saves his strength and moves on to section 3. In fact, he's already clean in section 3. Toni Bo is going to do it the conventional way. Stays down. Fire himself up now. Raga perhaps trying to be a little bit too clever and do something different. Toni Bo is going to rely on his own alacrity to make it through. Here we go then. Up he goes! That's brilliant from Toni Bo. Now the turn. He's got more than half the time. Round 2 direction. First step easy enough. Still looking good in this section, Toni Bo. 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Can Toni Bo remain clean? Adam Raga, remember, failed this section just moments ago. Bo is looking good. Toni Bo is clean in section 2. And leads us by 5 marks with 4 sections remaining. Bo has only been beaten once in 2019. And for now, it doesn't look as though he's going to be beaten for a second time. Over to Adam Raga. 37-year-old veteran. This is his 4th season with TRS. 38 career victories. And he's hoping to add to here tonight. He's already guaranteed his 110th career podium, is Adam Raga. He is the sport's all-time record holder for podium Section number 3. This has been the toughest section of the night so far in both rounds. So to do it in 2 directions, this is not going to be easy. Adam Raga, superb in the round 1 direction. Absolutely brilliant. He's clean so far. That will take some matching from Toni Bow, actually. And what can Raga do in the secondary direction? He's still clean. This is a consummate performance from Adam Raga in his 130th X-Trial appearance tonight. Might be a regular silver medalist. It's more about the era in which he competes than it is about his own performance. He was already 4 times world champion when Toni Bow came onto the scene. Ah! And down he goes. What a shame. That section had started so well for Adam Raga, and it finishes with a second consecutive fiasco. Adam Raga in his first grand final appearance since X-Trial Bilbao. Finished behind Busto and Fajardo in the last 2 rounds. Granada and Marseille. He's getting back used to going head-to-head with Toni Bow again. Bow leads it by 10 now. And he convert that advantage by getting through section 3 in both directions. Not going to be easy. Raga did brilliantly in the first direction. Bow was clean. Round 1, and only a single mark dropped in round 2, but adding the 2 of them together makes it even more complicated, particularly with the time element. You can't bank time in one section and use it for another and so on and so forth. No. 1 minute per section. 1 mark drop there by Toni Bow. Section observer on his case here. Adam Raga was clean, remember, in this direction in the grand final. Toni Bow recovers himself well. More than half of the time remaining. First step of the return direction, right leg out for balance. Doesn't need to use it to touch the section, and therefore he's still on just 1. 25 seconds remaining for Bow. The face of this section, both wheels. Oh, that was really elegantly done. Front wheel over, back wheel following. Oh, that is perfect. Toni Bow, brilliance in section number 3, and now the party has started. He's not won yet, but you'd think so. The noise in this arena. Might be a smaller arena than some in 2019, but it's a familiar atmosphere to what we saw in X-Trial Barcelona, the best attendance of the season so far, and that was some noise as well for Toni Bow. And this is a passionate home crowd tonight, much as it was in Barcelona, that want to see Bow win. Bow's got a special place in their heart here. Of course, at X-Trial Barcelona, they had several home competitors. Here in Andorra, it's just Toni Bow, but he's resident here. We're into section number 4 now with Adam Raga. A section that has been moving around under the weight of the riders. Higher grip paint, incidentally, used on these sections tonight. The riders all remarked on that earlier on, compared to the blue modules that you'll remember from previous rounds that were a lot more slippery. Painted metal with sort of slightly corrugated surface. Section 4 now, second direction. Time is going to be tight here for Adam Raga. It's got to be a rush now. 15 seconds remaining. Raga making his way through. If he drops a 5 here, it'll move him on to 15. Toni Bow can't settle the X-Trial until Adam Raga's section 5 ride, regardless of what happens here. But Raga is keeping himself in contention. That was a really determined ride in the latter stages of section number 4. He'd left himself up against it. He had to push hard to get back on terms. It's 11 marks from 4 sections. Toni Bow leads it by 10. But Adam Raga has that section in hand. Toni Bow now, section 4. He's seen how it's done. He's only dropped 2 marks all evening. You wouldn't bet on him suddenly dropping more than 10 marks in 3 sections, would you? First step of section 4, completed successfully. 4 wins, 5 rounds for Toni Bow. He's looking for the 5th. The 6th and final event of the 2019 X-Trial World Championship. Last round of the season, but not necessarily the last round of the calendar. Winter calendar, so we may well start before 2020 with next season. That's to look forward to later on this campaign. October, I think, the earliest the new season can start. At the end of the summer season. But plenty of X-Trial action to look forward to. And more, I suspect, in 2019. Toni Bo then, with 15 seconds remaining. Adam Raga has made it through. Toni Bo under pressure to replicate that. Less than 10 seconds remaining. The assistant keeping him advised, and Bo is through clean. And 10 marks is the advantage. Unless Bo fails both of the 2 remaining sections, he wins X-Trial Andorra La Vella. And if Adam Raga drops more than if Adam Raga drops anything in the remaining 2 sections, he's already defeated. So Adam Raga needs a clean here to remain in mathematical contention for victory tonight. Section number 5 then. This is to be completed in the round 1 direction. As you can see, Adam Raga just checking, I think, whether he's got to do 2 directions. Not by my understanding, it's just the round 1 direction, as far as I can tell. And Raga has cleaned this once already. So, should be over to Toni Bo to secure victory tonight, if Raga can replicate that effort from earlier on here this evening. Still section 6 to come, of course, but Bo leads it by 10. So if Raga drops any marks, or if Bo doesn't fail this section, then it will be decided before we go to section 6, and that one will all be for fun and for the show. See where Adam Raga is passing now. There is a yellow sign saying exit. That is for section 6. Come back to that in a couple of moments' time. Less than 30 seconds remaining for Adam Raga to keep his hopes alive as X-Trial Andorra La Vella looks set to do so. It's a clean for Adam Raga. 11 marks then from 5 sections. And it's over to Toni Bo. As long as he doesn't fail section 5, he wins with a section to spare. It will be his 62nd career victory, as well as his 75th career podium. Appearance number 87. So you only need to do a bit of brief mental maths to ascertain more than half of the X-Trials that Toni Bo has competed in, he's won. That is an incredible statistic. And that win percentage seems to get better every year. Toni Bo then, 50 seconds remaining on the clock. As his assistant scrambles up the section. It's an achievement to do that on foot, quite frankly, 7 or 8 meters into the air. And not one for the faint of heart either, I should add, because there are no rails on the arena side. Riders smart enough and experienced enough not to be concerned about height, at least. Just under half the time remaining for Toni Bo. Opportunity to win X-Trial Andorra La Vella with a ride to spare. Toni Bo, let the party begin. Punches the air with delight, does Bo. We saw it coming a mile off when Raga failed sections 2 and 3 and Bo only dropped 1 mark between the 2 of them. But now it's official. Toni Bo wins X-Trial Andorra La Vella. 10 marks between them, 1 section remaining. Nothing Raga can do now other than accept second position, which unfortunately for him has so often been the case down the years, both in X-Trial events and indeed in the World Championship as a whole. Now we're into section number 6. Now the riders have to do 1.5 sections here. This is a familiar territory for them because this is the section 5 from round number 2. But at the bottom there, they make a turn. They then have to make their way up to the middle of the tower, where the exit gate is that I was talking about previously. And that's their opportunity to wave to the crowd here tonight. 30 seconds on the clock. Raga should make it in terms of time. Here he goes. The crowd really getting behind him. Less than 20 seconds remaining for Adam Raga. The crowd, I think, had the impression that the section was over, but not so. Now it will be. Adam Raga, final step, less than 10 seconds to go to make it up to the exit gate. Adam Raga has done it. 2 seconds to spare. Great reception for Raga. and great end to a challenging lap for him. Sections 2 and 3 proving the difference between the two riders here tonight. Raga with 11 marks, Toni Bow with just 1. Still got section 6 to complete, of course, as Toni. And I suspect he's going to meet Adam Raga up there, because Raga at the moment doesn't feel like coming down. The problem is Toni Bow's got to pass Adam Raga, so I think they might have to ask Raga to come down before Toni Bow can go through. That's about to become a live section where Adam Raga is. The observer, referee and ground crew calling out to Adam Raga to get out of the way, basically. And he will now vacate, enabling Toni Bow his moment in the sun. I think Adam Raga had forgotten that where he was sat is actually part of the section. So up he goes, and he will now say goodbye. Stadium announcer getting the crowd going here in Andorra La Vella for the final section of the night, the final section of the 2019 season. Surely Toni Bow will want to do this clean, as he's done the vast majority of the sections here tonight. Just 2 dropped marks all evening. That really is utterly incredible from Toni Bow. 16 sections he'll have completed in total. 2 marks dropped in 15. Will it be 2 marks dropped in 16? Section 6. More than half of the time still remaining. 10 marks the gap to Adam Raga, so no worries about victory in the event. That's already well and truly settled. Victory in the championship was settled at X-Trial Marseille last time out a month ago. So Bow's had time to start thinking about summer. Words of the defence of his title he's been talking about. Don't rule out plenty more from Toni Bow, the man to beat in the X-Trial World Championship, who seals victory here tonight with just 2 dropped marks from 16 sections. Our world champion for a 13th time in his career gets a standing ovation once again. Well deserved. He got one after round number 1. A superb clean lap. It's just 1 mark dropped in the final, and considering that the sections were for the most part in 2 directions, that really is spectacular. Toni Bow will make his way off the section, and then the celebrations can begin, both in terms of tonight's X-Trial and indeed in terms of the World Championship podium and the medals that are still to be awarded. Toni Bow punching the air with delight. He's going to do his lap of honour, and where we saw donuts earlier on tonight, Toni Bow is going to put his bike and do the same. Nice little space for donuts right in front of the crowd. Toni Bow enjoying the moment here this evening. Let's see if we can hear from him. Toni Bow, officially crowned world champion here tonight, and in dominant style here this evening at X-Trial Andorra La Vella. A 10-mark advantage in the grand final. Just 2 marks dropped all evening for Toni Bow. Well and truly deserving. He's getting a celebratory Mexican wave. Had a few of those tonight. The crowd has been absolutely superb in supporting Toni Bow, the main man in the World Championship. He's proven it once again. Sensational X-Trial action for Toni Bow. Photographs to be taken for posterity, of course. Graphic confirms it. Winner Toni Bow, runner-up Adam Raga, 3rd classified Gironi Fajardo. Those are your results here this evening. The 3rd place playoff won by Fajardo.